In the last video, I already introduced you to Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy. In this video, you are about to see the comparison between the two. Also, I am about to discuss about Filipino thinking and transcending and aiming for a life of abundance. Let us now proceed to the next slide.
Multiculturalism and the rapid growth of technology has led to the melting pot of society we have always dreamed of. Tolerance and acceptance is the motto as we expand our horizons to encompass new ways of life each passing day. With that being said, as the world becomes more connected, we are introduced to perspectives we find hard to understand. The influence of great thinkers and movements in the areas we grew up have greatly shaped our worldviews, making it hard to see the other side. Some bash Western philosophy as being too egocentric or lacking spirituality and empathy. Critics of Eastern philosophy complain about it being too vague or full of mumbo-jumbo. So which one is it? Which one is objectively better? Here in the West, we value individualism, the idea of freedom and natural laws, where every man has the God-given right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The negative side of that is many Westerners are viewed as selfish and narcissistic, only interested in their own personal growth. On the other side, Eastern philosophy is all about unity and being a part of a greater whole. Everything is connected. You, me, the trees, the birds, the stars and galaxies are all part of a cosmic one. The most important characteristic of the Eastern worldview, one could almost say the essence of it, is the awareness of the unity and mutual interrelation of all things and events. The experience of all phenomena in the world as manifestations of a basic oneness. All things are seen as interdependent and inseparable parts of this cosmic whole, as different manifestations of the same ultimate reality. This leaves us with a warm feeling of satisfaction and comfort knowing you are a part of something greater than yourself. However, it can also lead to excessive conformity, where oppression is more likely to take place as the culture pushes you to stay in line and follow the rules. Boldness without the rules of ritual conduct becomes insubordination. Conflict versus harmony. The Enlightenment movement and the Age of Reason in Western history gave immense value to logic and reasoning to distinguish between right and wrong, fact or fiction. It's what has allowed humanity to advance thus far, the birth of scientific inquiry. While the benefits for this train of thought is immense, the advent of modern medicine, the advancement of technology, and our understanding of the observable universe, the notion of proving one idea is better than another can sometimes lead to irrational behavior. Emotions tend to run high and we push ourselves to the extremes of our beliefs, i.e., liberal versus conservative, science versus spirituality. The divides create unnecessary tension, and Western thought doesn't even attempt to reconcile between any seemingly opposing ideologies. In Eastern tradition, harmony is key. Take the Taoist philosophy of yin and yang. There is always a balance between opposing forces where one cannot exist without the other. When people see things as beautiful, ugliness is created. When people see things as good, evil is created. Being and non-being produce each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short define each other. High and low oppose each other. Fore and aft follow each other. All in all, each philosophy provides a mindset that is beneficial to the individual and the whole of society. While it is important each human being has individual personal rights and freedoms, we must remember that we're all in this together. In most situations, we need to harmonize opposing viewpoints and understand conflict is just a part of life. But there are plenty of occasions where empirical evidence can be used to find absolute truths. In the end, all we need is balance and the wisdom to combine both East and the West, not just culturally, but philosophically as well. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and found it insightful, and subscribe so you can keep updated with future posts similar to this. Leave your thoughts on the matter and anything I missed in the comment section below. I'm the self-made nerd, here to talk nerdy to you.
Filipino Thinking, from local to global. It may sound presumptuous to speak of Filipino thought for the reason that the Philippines could not very well speak of a tradition such that of China, India, or Greek or Roman. Yet, for the Filipino, there has to be Filipino thought or none at all. Like any other people, the Filipino must eventually take consciousness of his own particular life and his world, his society, and his gods in the light of truth, and thereby realize his proper being. However, the pioneering attempts to formulate a Filipino philosophy share the fate of most pioneering works: the lack of refined tools and the lack of predecessors upon whom to stand. Nevertheless, Filipinos do have their own philosophy. This section draws out elements or draw sketches of the general lines of Filipino philosophy. The three dimensions of Filipino thought are loob, Filipino philosophy of time, and bahala na. These attitudes and values constitute the hidden springs of the Filipino mind. Loob, holistic and interior dimensions. Kagandahang loob, kabutihang loob, and kalooban are terms that show sharing of oneself to others. Loob puts one in touch with his fellow beings. Great Philippine values, in fact, are essentially interpersonal. The use of intermediaries or go-betweens, the values of loyalty, hospitality, pakikisama, and respect to authority are such values that relate to persons. In short, the Filipino generally believes in the innate goodness of the human being. Filipino ethics has an internal code and sanction that flow from within itself. This ethics is more constant than other legalistic moral philosophies that are rather negative. The Filipino, who stresses duties over rights, has plenty in common with his Oriental neighbors such as the Chinese and the Indian. In short, the Filipino as individual looks at himself as holistic from interior dimension under the principle of harmony. The Filipino looks at himself as a self, as a total whole, and as a person, conscious of his freedom, proud of his human dignity, and sensitive to the violation of this too.
These are all for you guys. These are all for you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Fabi?
Yes, speaking.
Yes, Fabi, it's Khalid. You're in the Pachi building, right? Okay, we're in Dubai in the Maraqabat area and we're about to visit an incredible lady, a Filipina mother of three, who during this crisis that the world is seeing, decided to do something good, prepare food for hundreds of people every single day. Today, we meet a new hero. Oh, it's not our floor. Yeah, make sure to watch till the end. We have a little surprise for her too. Hello. How are you? Can we come in?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Wow, it smells great in here.
It smells like chicken.
Smells really good. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
How are you?
So this is where the magic happens.
Oh.
This is my small kitchen.
So if you guys know, like, Amir, who's behind the camera, is half Filipino. So he's watching all this and he's just like, you know,
My mouth is watering under this mask.
So from all the meals that you decided to make this right here.
Yes, this
the chicken
is
adobo.
our chicken adobo. It's very simple, but it's very tasty. And what I'm always telling people, I cook it with love.
With love. So each person, they get a portion of chicken adobo. They get rice.
I put two chickens.
Okay.
One egg.
One egg.
And then the soup, I put it in the rice. I can show you here in our
let's take a
table
look.
because we're already packing because
Did you have breakfast? Oh God.
you can eat.
I don't know about tomorrow, but I have something for today. I can't be caring for others, not just living for myself. If I stop just for a moment, I won't lose this morning sun. If I'll try just to look forward, I will see the morning dawn. I will see the morning dawn.
You talk about like your family, like you have to work hard to provide, and you know it's difficult.
Yes,
But
it's
so
so
why is it important? Like why did you choose to do what you're doing now?
I don't believe in such thing that you have to be rich just to help others. No. Whatever you have in your own house, in your own pocket, you can share it. Even just a portion of it, a little of it.
That's amazing. That's incredible. All right, so now all the meals are being put on the pulley, and then we're gonna go across the street from the family's house, and that is where people line up from about 2:45 p.m. to get some of this tasty food. Now we're heading over across the street. This is where the food is gonna be handed out, and usually they say there's about 50 people lined up there on any given day. Let's go take a look. So we have just gotten here at 3 o'clock. As you can see, the line is already operating and the meals are already starting to go out to people. Beautiful. The thing I love about Dubai is when these good initiatives happen, you see it bring everyone together. So you've got Filipino food and a Filipino initiative, and you've got all these different nationalities from India, Pakistan, Africa, you know, everywhere around the world coming to get help and coming to enjoy and take part in this experience. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's what makes this city so special. Okay, we are here with Fabi and JP, the heroes behind this initiative. You guys are incredible. You guys are inspirational, and you guys are what the community needs in times like this. You guys are what the world needs in times like this, and we want to thank you. We want to thank you, and we want to support. So here, from us, this is 10,000 dirhams. No, seriously, 10,000 dirhams. Come on, for you to help and support for whatever it is that you need to be doing.
No.
This is so much for them.
No, it's fine.
No.
We're here for you, and we support you. We love you, and we want you to keep going. We want you to stay strong.
Thank you so much for
And we're here to help.
reaching out to these people.
No,
Because
of course.
Look at them.
these are all for you guys. These are all for you.
I would hug you if it wasn't for this.
Thank you so
virtual
much.
hugs
Thank
and
you so
love.
much.
God bless you.
Now we can go drive to South Rovic this morning to feed many people.
Inshallah,
Thank you so
inshallah.
much.
Thank you so much for having us. Take care. Salamat po.
Thank you, thank you.
God
Mabuhay
bless you guys.
ka. Mas mabuhay po kayo.
Take care. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of Fabi and the inspirational work she is doing during these hard times to help others. And she taught us a lesson today. She said it several times that you don't have to have a lot. You don't need to be rich or wealthy to help others. Everything counts. Every little bit counts. And when we all come together as a community, as a country, as a world, to put our efforts together the way she does, no one will be hungry and no one will be left behind. And that is a lesson we can all learn from. Much love, and God bless you all.
Jollibee, I'm always cooking fried chicken. Jollibee.
Hi, Jolly.
Hi, Jollibee. No pressure, Jollibee. No pressure.
Filipino philosophy of time. Moreover, the Filipino, whether Ilocano or Kapampangan, proves that he believes in the gulong ng palad, and hence looks at life as a series of up and downs. This philosophy of life makes the Filipino an unmitigated optimist. When the so-called wheel of life is on downtrend, he looks to the future with hope because life's wheel cannot stay down forever. When one weeps, one will surely smile. The Filipino looks upon every event, fortunate or unfortunate, as fleeting or transitory. Often, Filipino time is mistakenly interpreted as always delayed in the committed time of arrival. This notion can be misleading since the Filipino farmers are early risers to go to their field and waste no time for work. The concept of siesta time or power naps is also important for Filipino culture that must not be necessarily considered negative.
18th birthday party ni Michaela. Alas 5 magsisimula ang programa. Pero alas 4 ng hapon ang nasa imbitasyon.
Sa atin, pag sinabi na for example is 4 p.m., they will arrive exactly at 4 p.m. Which is advisable, they need to arrive ahead, 30 minutes before the time. In that way, we can start the program on time.
Ayon sa event coordinator, madalas lampas sa oras magsimula ang mga ganitong okasyon. Marami raw kasing bisitang hindi dumarating sa oras.
Meron kasi tayong ugaling mga Pilipino, di ba? Here in the Philippines, we do not follow RSVP. Yan. So we need to inform the host or yung ating celebrant ahead.
Ang mga kasali sa kotilyon, alas 2 ng hapon ang call time. Alas 2:30 kasi ay may rehearsal pa sila.
Sa guest natin, kung mapaprovide ng ating celebrants yung kanilang mga contact details, we inform them ahead. Especially mga participants. For this kind of debut, yung ating mga participants for 18 traditions, we require them to arrive an hour before the program proper for the orientation.
Alas 3:30 pa lang, may mga dumadating ng bisita.
Pag dumadating ka kasi ng on time, nasusunod yung time na pag-start, pati yung pagtapos ng time para hindi nahahassle yung mga schedule na nakalagay talaga.
On time kasi sign of respect kasi binavalue mo yung time nung kausap mo and yun ding ikaw rin, hindi ka rin magiging abala sa iba.
Halos 300 bisita ang inaasahan. 1 oras ang inilalaan para sa pagdating ng mga bisita.
Kami, we do the pre-program before the program proper. So for this event, as a debut, later we will do the pre-program. Doon na ginagawa yung mga announcements, orientations ng mga participants, and also yung ibang mga pag-games natin.
Unti-unting nakukumpleto ang mga bisita. Alas 5 ng hapon, nagsimula ang programa. May hindi lalagpas sa 10 na nahuli ang dating.
Actually, naghintayan pa po kami, tapos na-late yung kasama namin. Kaya na-late kami is because of me. Hindi ko na patatagalin po kasi I have a lot of responsibilities din po kasi kaya po na-late.
Tinagalan mo kasi na may naiwan po yung tropa namin sa bahay.
Sige na, dali. Maraming salamat po.
Nagpasalamat ang pamilya ng debutant na nagsimula sa oras ang programa.
Yung importance niya kasi para maaga din ma-start yung program kasi lahat nag-effort eh.
Mahigpit din sa oras ang venue at photo booth.
Kung medyo magkakaroon tayo ng delays for that, i-adjust natin yung ating timeline of the day. Yan. Pero as much possible, we make sure na masunod yung timeline because of the certain charges ng venues and other suppliers for extensions. Yan. Ang minimum kasi ng mga charges ngayon for the venues ay nasa 1,000 to 5,000 per hour yun. So, in-avoid natin ma-additional charge yung client.
Yung pagpo-photog kasi, hindi kasi madali. Mostly kasi, di ba, memories yung kina-capture namin. So, hindi mo na maibabalik yon once na nangyari na. So, sobrang importante kasi ikaw yung titigil ng oras nung couple or nung debutant para makunan mo yung pinaka-the best angles and situation.
Important yung time kasi parang yun yung binigay sa amin para i-cover yung event nila. Tsaka kasi parang timeless time. Tapos pag nabigay namin sa kanila yung output in time, parang yun na, memory timeless na yun.
Nagsimula raw ang konsepto ng Filipino Time noong panahon ng Kastila. Huli raw dumarating sa pagtitipon ang mga importanteng tao.
Kasi parang dahil sa para bigyan ng status symbol, naging parang fashionable late ang tingin na kung darating ka bilang VIP, no? Very important person, katulad ng mga praile, ay parang may dramatic entrance. So, parang ang tingin is the longer na malate ka ay merong pagbibigay ng pagpapahalaga sa iyong posisyon at katayuan sa buhay.
Dahil madalas noong naghihintay sa mga Kastila, ginaya raw natin sila.
Bakit hindi naalis sa kultura? Kasi naging kultura mismo. Parang it's a culture of abuse at the same time. Kasi yung mga nalilate at ang dahilan ay Filipino Time, ay nakaranas rin ng ganong pagkainis sa mga taong naging late sa kanilang mga meetings. So naging kultura from one culture to the other and from one generation to the other.
Mahigit isang siglo nang umalis ang mga Espanyol, hindi pa rin natin inaalis ang maling ugali na huli sa mga pulong at okasyon. Mali na nga, pero parang tinanggap na raw natin ang ganitong gawain.
It's not gonna be the top of your priority to be punctual. And minsan nga, dahil nga mukhang hindi iyon yung normative, because the so-called Filipino Time, hindi iyon yung normative, hindi yun yung susundin mo. You would rather play by the social norms. And kung sa tingin mo yung social norms ay hindi dapat ako super aga, kasi baka isipin nila super excited, dapat chill lang ako, dapat kalmado, stoic, etc. Yun yung susundin mo, kasi yun yung normatibo sa kasalukuyang konteksto.
Ang problema, hindi raw natin ito itinatama dahil sa pakikisama.
Instead na ipahiya natin yung ating mga kaibigan na nalilate, ay pwede namang hintayin. Pero may halong pagkainis rin sa ating kultura na kaya nalilate dahil sa alam na natin na na-experience, naranasan nila yung pagiging late. Kaya naisip nila na wag na munang pumunta ng eksaktong time at saka pupunta na lang kung marami-rami na yung mga tao.
Sa sobrang traffic sa dami nang nangyayari sa kalye, kaya lalong nalilate ako.
Lagi kasing traffic, kaya lagi akong nalilate. At saka minsan, walang tubig.
Puyat, tapos higi, tapos minsan nag-iinom din.
Una po, pag nalilate ako, tinatanghali ako ng pagising.
Thank you for watching, mga kapuso. If you like this video, subscribe now to GMA Public Affairs official YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell button for the latest updates.
Bahala na. Bahala na, or come what may, nonetheless is one of the most outstanding Filipino virtues. It is in one aspect perceived as courage to take risks. For instance, it could be accounted not only poverty but also because of bahala na why millions of Filipinos are working abroad in complicated and high-risk environments and places. Filipinos will risk their lives just to be able to support their families back home. Bahala na on the other hand, is seen as fatalistic, sort of leaving everything to God or to chance, such as the uncertainty of life. But on the other hand, fatalism is universal. Filipino thought and values. It is believed, however, that the Philippine values and system, in line with Filipino philosophy, are in dire need to be used as positive motivation. However, as we consider our duty, it should not be bounded by utang na loob, but to help to uplift the life not only of one's own family, but of others as well. The Filipino gives great values to endurance and hard work as means to economic self-sufficiency. This self-sufficiency refers not to individual self, but to the family to which one owes a special debt of gratitude for having brought him life and nurtured him. In this vein, we should stress other positive Filipino values such as bayanihan or helping others in times of need. Bayanihan is another moving spirit of the Filipino people. Deep down in the Filipino psyche, there exists the belief that whatever good one has done will redound to one's benefit because a supreme judge will dispense just compensation, whether in this life or in the next. In short, despite the Western imposition of dualism, Filipino philosophy should continue to strive for harmony with nature and absolute.
Ito ang pundasyon ng ating pagkakaisa dahil dito taas muli ang Pilipino. Tayong lahat ay kabilang sa isang bansa kung saan maaari ng mangarap muli.
Bayanihan, kaya natin to. Ang tugon sa ating mga pangarap. Magkaisa para matupad. Kapayapaang matagal nang hinahangad. Bawat isa ay may tungo. malasakit na wagas. Kaibigan, iwan ang sandata, makulay na kinabukas ay abot na. Sama-sama para sa Republika, kapayapaang may bigay na pag-asa. Bawat isa ay may tungkulin, pangarap ng bansa ay ating abutin. Sa mapayapa at maulad na Pilipinas, may pagkakaisa at malasakit na wagas. Iisang bansa, iisang diwa, iisang lahi, isang minimithi. Kung may kapayapaan, may kaunlaran. Kung walang labanan, lahat makikinabang bayanihan para sa ating buo. Kung may kapayapaan, may kaunlaran. Kung walang labanan, buong bansa'y makikinabang bayanihan para sa ating bayanihan. Kaya natin to!
Transcending and aiming for a life of abundance. Abundance is not what we gather, but what we scatter. Often, abundance is equated with materialism. But it is when we raise our empty hands in surrender, when we do not grab, when we are unattached to anything or anyone, when we offer oneself. All these are abundance. Only if we have empty hands can we receive full blessings. Abundance is not what we keep, but what we give away. To live an abundant life, one must pursue one's desire and inner self. One must go after what fulfills before making more money. It is truly paradoxical because to be able to have, we must first let go. To be able to acquire, we must first control ourselves. Aguilar in 2010 believes that to be abundant, we must learn to control our appetites and desires, for they have impact on other people. Harsh words, pollution, and eating unhealthy foods are some examples where our choices influence or affect not only ourselves but others as well. In other words, there is karma in our thoughts, words, and actions. Abundance is not what we hold, but what we share. Undoubtedly, money counts in our globalized society. However, we should be reminded that money should not matter much, for every moment is a blessing, even if one does not have money. Abundance comes to the ones who has money in heart, money and values, money and relationships, and money and deeper happiness. Aguilar claimed that abundance is more than our ambitions, there are more precious things, such as people that matter. Abundance is a choice. Abundance is more of an effort of the heart than mind alone. This theorizes that only the heart can commit. Abundance, therefore, is a choice which translates to commitment, determination, and perseverance. Abundance is to evolve into a higher being. It becomes clear that the concept of abundance covers both external and internal life. We cannot truly live without material considerations, but externals are not all there are. Values, for instance, matter. Thus, to live in abundance means evolving into a higher being and following one's mission, a deliberate or conscious desire to act upon what can make us and others happy. As we are bombarded by negative people and moods, it becomes our choice to adopt an abundant disposition. After our discussion about abundance, here's a video. I wanted you to reflect for a while and pray with me in the hope of having an abundant life.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, everybody say, today I receive all of God's love for me. Today I open myself to the unbounded, limitless, overflowing abundance of God's universe. Today I open myself to God's blessings, healing, and miracles. Today I open myself to God's Word, so I become more like Jesus every day. Today I proclaim that I am God's beloved, I'm God's servant, I'm God's powerful champion. And because I am blessing the world in Jesus' name. Give the Lord a big hand, everybody.
Summary of Lesson 1. The contents of this lesson are contextualized based on the internal and external conditions of Philippine education that value big-picture thinking, amid the complexity of life and the massive explosion of knowledge across all fields. Philosophy, by its definition, covers a great deal of conceptual, complex, and value-laden processes. Lessons to be learned go beyond and rise to daunting challenges of modern experience. In short, a broad understanding of philosophy stressed not just the humans but other living beings. To summarize, Lesson 1 is all about pursuing wisdom and facing challenges in the 21st century. You have come to identify the meaning of philosophy, its etymological and real definition, the different branches of philosophy, and you have identified the need of us becoming philosophers, and that is for us to be able to attain a comprehensive outlook in life. That's all for now, and I will see you on our next videos.
Wave Beats Music.